Hi guys, I am still alive. I know I don't post a lot lately, but I'm still slowly working on art here and there. Lately I've been just really into my oil painting. For the longest time I haven't been able to touch it, and because just things are going so slow, I've been diving into it a lot more lately. With this painting, it's a lot larger, so I decided to do an actual full video instead of a short, which I've done a couple of those with some practice paintings. This one, even though it's still pretty small, I still did a lot of detail and a lot of really tricky things with this painting that I am surprised that I managed to do. The first thing being the background. I honestly am really bad at figuring out how to do backgrounds. Usually I pick a subject matter and then I just put a random color and add some blending and little bits of different colors here and there and call it good. But this one I wanted to use a reference and actually get a background going. I did alter it a little bit because in the photo it's from my backyard. There's a like chain link fence, so I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to have the tree line and all the other like more natural stuff in there. I didn't want to paint a chain link fence. So I did have to alter it a little bit. But yeah, for a background, I think I did an okay job. Going more into the foreground, I started struggling a little bit, but that's where most of the detail actually is. When working on the crystals, I actually didn't have too much trouble, surprisingly, with the blue crystal. It was a little tricky here and there, but it came out quite quickly, and I have like the least amount of footage from doing that one because of how little I struggled with it. For some reason, the purple one was definitely more work because of how subtle the colors were. I had to kind of add more detail to it than it had in the photo reference because of how detailed I got the blue one. It just felt off, leaving it too muted. So I increased the detail of that and kind of made a few adjustments here and there to make it more vibrant. And then I really struggled with the white crystal in the front. I still think it came out really good, but it was the most difficult because of how translucent that crystal was compared to the other two. And then once I got to the leaves and sticks and all the blades of grass, I was worried that this was going to take the longest because of how many individual things there were. But what I did to make it a lot easier on myself was I picked and chose different elements from the reference photo to follow, and then the rest of it I just kind of did whatever. So I wasn't like perfectly spot on with every blade of grass in the photo and I put it in the painting that way. I picked the pieces that I liked and then I made changes to the painting as I was going to make sure that it fit more like cohesively in the painting. Like the sticks in the background, they really aren't set up that way in the photo reference at all, but I felt like I wanted them to stick out a little bit more. We're gonna go past that pun. But yeah, most of the blades of grass aren't perfect copies of the reference photo, and I found that made it a lot easier to get the grass to look the way I wanted, and it felt less rigid because of that. And then there's a reason I left the grasshopper to be the very last thing that I did. One being it's kind of on top of everything, so it made sense. The other being I was a bit intimidated by all the different like shell pieces to his anatomy. It's a lot. I feel like I did quite well to begin with, but I did struggle when I got close to his back leg and I had to keep adjusting the tints so that it didn't blend like weird into the rest of his body. It wasn't standing out correctly at one point. At one point, it was too bright. It that was really honestly the hardest part was his back leg and trying to get that to work. Other than that, most of the other spots were quite easy to deal with. But yeah, that was my painting for today's video. I had a lot of fun with this one. I think I pushed myself a lot with certain details that I didn't think I was going to be able to do. And I'm really excited to try more pieces. Honestly, doing a very large crystal piece sounds like a lot of fun, but also a nightmare at the same time. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to try and post another piece. I know right now I'm working on some type of sculpture that I think will be really fun. Not really an art doll, but it still has elements of what you would do to make an art doll. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye!